the Maria Gentili page. You can catch us on What's a Story with Maria page. Leo Rodriguez, our accidental stage manager, is here. He has got us going on everything. And we are live, right, Leo? We are Jimmy has just sent me a message that we are live. So as soon as this, there it is, beautiful. Okay, so here's what I like to do. I like to pop it on my phone on my page, and we're running on the What's the Story with Maria page. I don't want to waste much time at all tonight because we have so much to cover. And as you see our lovely backdrop, you wonder why it's so colorful, why so joyful, why so happy, why so gay? It's Pride Month, everybody. It's Pride Month in New York City. We are so happy. Ed Kutu from Blade Salon has given us the rainbow flag hats. He's in Connecticut.
Hey, Chris.
Bergie. Oh, my God. Chris, Thomas Vincent. You know we love our Chris Shapiro. Stephen Phillips, great production value. Maria, that is all Leo. I cannot take credit for any of that production value. That is our amazing accidental stage manager. Rena Crugnali Bergie, my cousin in Massachusetts. Now, let me just give you a heads up. This is our 200th episode, as Leo reminded me, and I got to tell you, Rena, you're going to so appreciate this. Today, I got a call from the florist, and they were like, are you home? I was like, yeah, I'm home. Why? We're trying to deliver something. I thought, who the hell is sending me anything, especially flowers? And who do you think it was? Leo Rodriguez. He sent me flowers for our 200th episode. So let me show you these beautiful flowers. Stay right there. Don't go far. Look at how cute this is. Leo and, of course, Bill Goffey. They got together and they said, Rena, is this the cutest thing you ever saw? With little congratulations balloons for our 200th episode, which I guess is a big deal. It is a big deal. For our 100th episode, we had a really big party. We had so many friends here, and we just had such a wonderful time. But because, we're still, a lot of things are still kind of not back to complete, but they will be. I'm going to start having some people in the studio, and some people I'm still really enjoying the StreamYard that Leo does. So I'm back and forth with that. But
how many years is 200?
It's almost 4 years. So 208 will be exactly 4 years. So what I'm going to do to celebrate the 200th anniversary is my cousin Rena, as you know, has lent us her home many times to run shows. I am going to coordinate with Rena, and June 29th, which is a Tuesday, I'm going to be at Rena Crugnali's house, and we're going to do the show live from there. And who knows the cast of characters that will show up that night. Rena, we're going to have to put this together. Definitely a couple of Raskowskis for sure. Maybe a few Crugnalis. We don't know. Hey, Rena, maybe something.
Best built-in studio audience that you've ever had has been in Boston, I have to say.
Oh, my God, because all my wild cousins. All right, who else has joined us? Russ Woolley, the gorgeous Russ Woolley. You know me, I love me some Russ. Russ, so nice to see you. Happy Pride Month, honey. Steve Phillips, he's in Missouri. Michael Klein. Hi, Michael Klein. David Slauson, I believe he is in Kentucky. How are you, sweetheart? John Pandish, she's in Queens. And, of course, Chris is in Jersey. Chris, I got some chicken soup for you and some meatballs for you in the freezer, which I must deliver to you. And Bill Parker from Wisconsin has joined us. Okay, let's not waste too much time. So we want to thank Jim Bill, our producer and engineer. We're glad you're back, Jimmy. And we're back on Armed Radio, armeddigitalmedia.com, armedradioglobal.com, Leo. Mm-hmm. And if you want to catch that live, you go to your TuneIn app, type in Armed Radio, and we will be live every Tuesday from 9 to 10. Well, usually from 9:05 to 9 to 10 o'clock. Okay, let us not waste any more precious Pride Month moments. Just yapping. Yes, we have merchandise. We'll talk about that another time. But we have got to bring on our first guest. First of all, I am crazy about him. I started working with him at Stonewall. Me and Susie started. Susie's known him for a long time, but I just met him about 2 months ago, and I'm hooked. It's like that friend in high school that you had that you couldn't sit next to because you whispered to each other, and you got the same and you thought the same people were crazy. Those kind of friends. So everybody, put your hands together, spread those big butterfly pride wings for Chauncey Dandridge.
What an intro. What an intro.
Well, you deserve even more of an intro, but I couldn't wait to see you, so I wanted to pop you on. So, ladies and gentlemen, Leo, oh, there he is. Chauncey Dandridge. First of all, I love your name. It sounds like a famous writer.
I know, right?
You know, like from back in the day. It's like, oh, and then when Chauncey Dandridge wrote blank, blank, blank. So, first of all, you and I work at Stonewall together, which I am loving. We're having so much fun.
Yeah, it's the Monday Night Crew. Amazing.
The Monday Night Crew is really fun. Now, you've been there a long time, though, right?
Almost 8 years, yeah, in August.
Okay, and you go by DJ Chauncey.
Yeah, I mean, people call me Chauncey. It's
yeah, but like on Facebook, a lot of people know you as DJ Chauncey.
Yeah. Well, November will be 19 years I've been DJing. So.
Wow, and do you DJ? Tell me where you do DJ, and if people want to DJ, how do they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at DJ Chauncey D, and I've DJed at almost every one of the bars in the city. From back in the day, Limelight. I had a gig at Limelight. I got my start in East Village at a place called Urge that doesn't exist anymore.
Wow.
It's now a pet food store, which is kind of funny.
But the Limelight, I remember the Limelight, Chauncey.
Yeah, I just had one gig there. We did it.
That was a wild. And I just heard a rumor that it might open again. Did you hear that?
It's just that a rumor. It's like
I was gonna say
somebody was trying to scam everybody out of $100 because even the flyer looked like it was made in 1985. It was really
my god.
But
yeah, remember those people in cages swinging? It was wild. That was a wild time.
Limelight was a special place.
So you grew up in New Jersey, so you've always had access to the city, right?
The PATH train was our like little ticket to freedom. We used to cut class in the afternoon and run in and buy Madonna imports CDs. We used to get all the mixes that weren't available on the United States version. So then we started. My first bar was Uncle Charlie's. So we would take the PATH in and then walk the promenade of Christopher Street. And then end up at Uncle Charlie's on Greenwich Avenue. And who knew, like almost 30 years later, that I'd be working at Stonewall on the same block,
Isn't that crazy? Isn't it funny sometimes how just a few blocks of space, how many years you can spend in an area and how many different stories you can have.
And you see all the businesses open and close and what lasts, what doesn't last,
I know that's why you got to take pictures in life.
Yep, but we didn't have cell phones with cameras back then, so everything.
No, I know, but I always used to carry. I have so many pictures. If you under my bed, I have like boxes and boxes and boxes of pictures because I used to always carry a camera. I was one of those people. So, and I used to make doubles. So I love that.
Oh wow!
Now, Chauncey,
I still have a bin of remember like the envelopes that you'd get your developed pictures in.
Of course.
I still have a little crate of like a whole bunch of those. It's so funny to see like how they're divided and how they're separated,
Yeah, and then like how many of those were not good at all? Like they were throwaways because you couldn't see them right away.
Yeah, you had to wait till it got developed. Everything wasn't
and that was such a big deal. You drop off that film and you had to wait. It was such a big. How about now? Because I've been at the Duplex for 23 years. So I was the person. Do you remember CT?
Yeah. When I first started working at Stonewall, he was the DJ there.
Okay. So CT and I used to make this is a God's honest truth. When they were still cassette tapes, we used to make mixed tapes for the Duplex for Gay Pride Day.
Oh, wow.
So we would do all that. And then it started to change over to CDs. So we used to do that. And then eventually it was just playlists. But I remember, I still have all of those. It's like crazy.
Yeah, people that I knew from back in like early 2000s, they're like, I still have one of the CDs you gave me. I'm like, oh my God, you got to burn it on, so I could hear it again,
I know, isn't that wild? Do you still have a CD player?
No, and my computer doesn't even have a DVD player. I can't even.
Isn't that crazy? You know what I bought when I got my Mac? I bought an external.
Yeah, I need to get one of those because I have
I have so many things that I just don't want to lose.
Yeah, I actually I cleared out my storage unit a couple months ago, and I have a whole like 2 huge plastic bins of VHS tapes that are really awesome. That I wish I could do something with them, but who has a VCR right now?
I do.
You do? I'll bring some in every Monday.
I'm serious. I have a VCR. If you want to come over someday, I'll make us lunch and we can just watch stuff.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. What is it, Leo?
If you want to send me your VHSs, and I can digitize them for you and send them back to you, just so you know.
You know what? I always forget that Leo
Like
does that. I know. Let me tell you, Leo is my right-hand man. I don't know what I'd do without Leo. Leo can take anything and make anything out of it. So he does all this great stuff on StreamYard, but he also exactly does stuff like that. So let's put a shout out there for Leo. If you guys want to do like they do that legacy box or something they call it, where they take all your stuff and put it on CD or hard drive. Or what are they called? You know, whatever, like a plug-in thing. Leo can do all that stuff.
Wow.
Now, Chauncey, let's see who else is. Rosa Puzzo has checked in. Let me see if there's any. Sometimes we have
like
people.
Sunday dinner here. There's all these Italians.
It really is. Oh, there's a lot of Italians, Chauncey. Now, you wouldn't know it by Chauncey's last name, but he is half Italian, right, Chauncey?
Yes, I'm half Italian, half Polish, so I'll make you an offer you wouldn't understand.
And I'll take it. And you know what's so funny? I almost bought pierogies today because I love them. I love Polish food. And I thought of you. I was like, I wonder if Chauncey's Polish as well, because my cousins, the Raskowskis, are half Italian, half Polish.
Yeah, it's weird. It was common in my hometown to be that combo, but other people were like, that's such a weird combo. And I'm like, it was normal in my town.
Yeah. No, it was normal where I grew up too. Lots of either Irish Italian or Polish Italian.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is as Italians, we grew up. We didn't not to hate them, but we would make fun of the Irish for some reason.
Well, like, you know what our parents used to call them? The Americans, the American kids. Like you were either Italian or it was like, oh well, the American kids, which were the Irish kids. Like. And it was always like, oh, you know how they are. They don't know what they're cooking. So that was always the big.
They just throw something in the pot, right?
Yeah, but this was the great thing. We used to trade. So I mean, it was just we used to have so much fun with our Irish friends because they loved the wine. We used to make wine, the Italians, but it wasn't very good. Yeah, both my grandpas would make wine, and it wasn't very good. I mean, they just, they were better at cooking. But my mother used to say to me, because we had jugs and jugs of it, do me a favor, get rid of that stuff. Bring one to your Irish friends. Because they wanted to get rid of this wine, and they loved it. They were like, oh, we'll take it. We'll take it. Now, Chauncey.
Did your family make Easter pies and give them out?
Of course. So your mother was Italian, right?
No, my father. I grew up with my father's side of the family, but my mom was Polish.
And who used to do all the cooking?
Well, my mom had to learn, but my grandmother. We grew up in my grandparents' house, so my grandmother cooked a lot. She would make that soup every week. The chicken noodle soup with the tomato sauce. There's always tomato sauce in the fridge.
Right, of course, and the escarole, right? Did you have the escarole?
Yes. I love escarole.
I still can't eat that. I can't eat any of that stuff because we ate so much of it as kids because it was cost effective. You could really stretch it.
Was. Yeah,
Good. Now I want to talk about your stuff because believe it or not, we run out of time so quickly. Good. All right, so Chauncey, everybody knows you as a DJ, but also there have been so many times when you're playing great music, and I'm like, Chauncey, what is that? I've never heard that. That's so great. And you're like, oh, I wrote it. So tell us about. Okay, what is this, Leo? Chauncey's page. Wonderful.
That's my Mixcloud. I have a weekly radio show on B-Box Radio. It's a Brooklyn radio station. And all my mixes live on my Mixcloud, mixcloud.com/DJ Chauncey D. If you like house music, if you like, electronic music.
Oh, wow.
They're little 1 hour sets of just fun, housey, little journeys. And then if you search for me on Spotify under Chauncey Dandridge, you'll find I did a collaboration with a DJ friend of mine named Laurent about 6 years ago. That's on there. And then I'm coming out with a duet album with my friend Van Hester from Montreal.
Oh my God, I can't wait. So tell us again where we can find all those playlists on that radio station.
Oh, well, it's bboxradio.com. That's on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. And,
okay.
But on Mixcloud is where they all live, like every episode lives. So.
Wow.
Yeah. But if you just type in DJ Chauncey D on Google, you'll find all my stuff.
DJ Chauncey D. Can you bring that up, Leo, so people can look at that? Because I do want people to find you. I love it.
That's my blog. That's my blog, houseofdandridge.com.
You have a blog too?
Yeah, I'm not as active on it as I used to be, but and I am a poet. I am a writer first before DJ. So I try to keep the writing going somehow. Like I just wrote an article for the Westview News. If you want to look for that on just Google that Westview News. It's about growing up gay in the 80s and 90s, which is kind of.
Oh my God, I dying to read this. Westview. We have such great conversations too. Westview News. Like one of the things I'm learning about you, and I love so much about you is your knowledge of gay history.
Mm-hmm.
And because sometimes, I'm a little bit of a hothead and I get like wrapped up in stuff. And then you're very calm about it. And you go, well, like this is the historic part of it. And you'll explain things. And lots of times I also know the history, but it's like, other things that I wouldn't even have known. So I always really appreciate this. What's this, Leo, that you just brought up?
Oh, that's my link tree. That's like kind of like a mini website where you go to linktree.com/DJ Chauncey D, and it takes you to all my stuff. So if you go there, it's right on he just pulled it up.
Linktree.
I have a little StreamYard experience. So I'm like, oh, he pulled up the link. So if you go to linktr.ee/DJ Chauncey D, you'll get my Spotify, my Apple Music, my all my music, all my Instagrams, all my whatever. I do a lot of activism, so I'll usually have like a campaign that I'm working on up top to try to get people to click it,
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I'm always like so blown away. We got Liz Goldenberg is watching as well. Jen Day's watching. I'm always so blown away about how much you really know. And you're like the kind, there's a lot of different types of activists as far as I'm concerned. And some of them are easier for me to listen to than others in the sense that sometimes I just hear a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And then other times I'm really like my heart's in it. And other times I'm educated. And you just like have a lot of heart. Like you really love talking about it, but you also are really like such an educator, Chauncey. So I'm very grateful for like all your knowledge. Thank you.
Me and my 3 brothers, I was the one who wanted to be a teacher. And
Is that true?
And they both became teachers and I didn't. It's kind of funny.
Wow.
I mean, I guess I teach in a different way. Yeah.
There's right. I was going to say you're doing it anyway, but there's always time. That's the wonderful thing about that career. You can never like be too old to teach.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're gathering all this knowledge and experience now, and who knows? It's just like teaching is great. Susie and I teach as well. So,
I'm still going to figure out how to take voice lessons from Susie.
Well, listen, I mean, I still have yet to hear you sing. And I'm like a little sad about that because you always say, maybe I'll sing tonight. Maybe I'll sing tonight. But you got one of these days, you just got to break out into song. When you do sing, Chauncey, what's some of the stuff that you do?
You were talking about whether we want to mention it. Like sometimes I do drag.
I would love to mention your character.
I'm a singing drag queen, but my name is Ceviche, and she's a former telenovela star who she didn't want to play the matronly roles anymore. She didn't want to play those. She wanted to stay the star, and they pushed her out, and she got bitter about it. So she's kind of like a Latina Ethel Merman, if you will.
Oh my God!
I don't normally sing like Ethel Merman, but I love Ethel Merman, so I love to put that character on. So.
Absolutely. When you were telling me about Ceviche, I couldn't stop laughing. Well, first of all, the name is hysterical.
Well, my tagline is "When life gives you lemons, make ceviche."
That's fantastic.
And that came from just a drunken night at Stonewall. I was like, we were talking about something about ceviche. I'm like, when life gives you lemons, make ceviche. I'm like, oh my God, that's my new drag name. And then like 6 months later, we did a benefit for Toys for Tots, and that was my debut. It was pretty crazy.
It's fantastic. I wish we had a picture of Ceviche somewhere. I don't know. We'll have to post it after the show somewhere. Yeah, you'll have to like, because that when you were telling me about
she's a piece of work. She's got a beard, so
My cousin Rena said Ceviche sounds hysterical, right, Rena? When I heard about it, I just thought that because those telenovelas, my grandmother, my whole family's 100% Italian, but my grandmother used to love the Spanish telenovelas, love them. And she swore she spoke Spanish. And then Later in her life, she started watching the Arabic ones and swore she understood every word.
Well, you swore you spoke Spanish last night to those people from Chile.
Well, I do speak a fair amount of Spanish.
You do.
You know, I can get. It's like restaurant Spanish. You know,
Yeah.
like you can get through. I'm sure they were laughing at me, but you can get through. You know, you just want to, because when people tell you they don't speak English because they don't want to order, then at least I can say, well, I speak enough Spanish to take your order.
Exactly.
But they ended up. We had people from Chile and we had people from from Colombia too.
Oh, they were from Colombia. Okay.
And Costa Rica.
Wow. It was like
it was like the last hour was Latin hour last night at Stonewall. But we had fun. And then Brandon started playing Selena. And there he is! Oh my goodness.
I was just enjoying my sauce over here.
What are you snacking on? Look at how cute you are. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Brandon James Gwynn. He works with Chauncey and I and Susie on Monday nights at the Stonewall from 8 to 2. And I'm sad because you're going to be gone for a few weeks because you're very busy now. Chauncey, we're going to bring you back. We're going to bring Chauncey back in a few minutes.
Okay.
So we'll bring you to the green room and we'll talk to Brandon for now. And then we will have both of you guys come on. So let me just tell the story of the missing meatballs.
Well, what's funny though is like I started to eat this as a gag so that I'd be eating it when you turn the camera on, but then look how much I've had.
Oh my God, it was full?
I have to stop. All right.
Well, that's really a compliment to my cooking.
It's really good.
So a few weeks ago.
You don't know how she cooks. She cooks.
She cooks. A few weeks ago, I was making deliveries and I delivered Chauncey's at Stonewall, no problem. And I said to them, Liz Goldenberg said, that's how I eat Maria's bolognese. Liz is probably my best customer. She orders every week. But so I drop off the same time I drop off Brandon's meatballs. And I write on the, a tag. I've always like staple them on. So Chauncey got his. And I said to Brandon a few days later, hey, did you get your meatballs? And they disappeared. They mysteriously disappeared.
It's really my boyfriend's fault. He was supposed to. I was working at Marie's, so I was down the street, and I was like, "Oh, since you're here, just run over to the Stonewall and get our meatballs, get our balls." And he just forgot to do it because it was one of those nights that went a little off the rails. And then so I went to like go look for them. There was a story where they were put in the walk-in fridge, and like we played a gig. We played a Monday night. I went in there and they were gone because somebody definitely stole the meatballs.
No, we know that this is a caper. I'm telling you. And one of these days I'm going to say to Kurt, I need you to pull up the video camera and let me go. I want to know who stole. We're going to find out who stole those meatballs. The mystery of the missing mighty meatballs. Maria's mighty meatballs. That's what they are.
It's a Hardy Boys.
It is. I like to cook. It's such a compliment. I mean, it's a compliment when anybody likes my cooking, but when the men like my cooking, I know it's good because they can eat a lot.
I had the sauce, and I was like, we need to have the meatballs. So we're gonna go through your whole catalog at some point.
Okay, good. I love that. Well, now let's see if any of our friends, if they're okay. So let's move away from the sauce for a minute. You have so much we got to talk about, just like Chauncey. You guys are so talented. So now you have an album coming out, right?
I do.
All right. Tell us about the album.
Oh, there's my website. It's called Bullet, Bullit. Okay. Oh, and here it is. I got these in the mail today. These are the
wow.
These are the promotional lyric books that are going out.
Oh my God.
And it's coming out on June 24th.
How do we find it?
It'll be wherever you buy music. So it'll be on iTunes. It'll be on Amazon. It'll be on Google Play. It'll be on Tidal. It'll be on all those things. So
okay.
So anywhere you can, it'll be on Spotify.
Great.
You can download it if that's what you're into. You can buy it on Apple Music, on iTunes, whatever, Amazon. If you want to stream it, that's cool too. It's on Spotify.
So what would be the category what category would you put yourself in?
It's kind of an alternative queer, like pop rock. This one's a little more rock forward than I usually like. I'm a pianist, so my stuff is usually pretty like quirky. I like to call it quirky piano pop. or queer like piano cork pop, and just like take those words and put them in a blender and press frappe,
I love it.
And so this one's a little more rock and roll. It's funny because today is, what's the date?
It's the 8th, June 8th.
I think this day 2 years ago was the first time we went into the studio to lay down the very, very beginnings of this album. And usually it takes about a year, in my experience, to make an album. This one took 2 years because we all know that 2020 doesn't really count. So and I also had a medical craziness in October. So it's been a pandemic.
Yeah, you had quite a year.
Yeah, and I'm just so happy that it's coming out. I'm just so happy that it's done, that I finished it and all that. But yeah, I'm really proud of it. It's 13 tracks, which is the longest release I've ever done.
Yeah, that's a good size album. That's really great.
Well, I was aiming for one of the best albums of all time is Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill, and that one has 13 tracks. And I was like, if I can ever release an album that long, I'll know I'm a real songwriter.
And you know what else? 13 is a lucky number for Italians. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yes, because St. Anthony's birthday is June 13th.
Oh, okay.
So Italians don't look at 13 as an unlucky number. They look at it as like a blessed number.
Okay.
So that's good. That's a good number.
User in your channel timed out.
Now, so the album is coming out. They can find it on all platforms. It's all Bullet.
There's a video, Maria, that we shot at the Stonewall, and Chauncey is in the video playing himself.
Well, when Chauncey comes back, actually, we can pull him back in now. Leo, if you can do that, because so last night I left at like 3 a.m.
We've been together all day.
24 hours. I left at 3 a.m., as did Susie, and Chauncey was still there. And I know that he had the spicy sausage, and I said, well, maybe.
Well, I didn't eat it yet. I brought it home.
Okay, good. All right. So you said, I'm not even going to go home. I'm just going to sleep here. And I couldn't believe it because you did, right?
I had to be back at 7:30 in the morning. So what's the point? I would have spent more time commuting than being home.
Yeah.
I had to be back at 10:30 in the morning. So I went home.
You went home and freshened up a little bit. But Chauncey, so tell me what you guys did today. And I know you've been doing a lot of filming.
Yeah, well, we did a lot of filming for the Stonewall Gives Back Initiative fundraiser that premiered last Tuesday. But
which is so good, by the way. So good.
It was fun. It was really fun. It was really fun to be a part of it because they had to pull it together in like 2 weeks. And then today we did something for Heritage of Pride's, like the actual like NYC Pride online event.
Okay.
But just like with Brandon, we did his video in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
One day he was Brandon, the next day he was someone else.
Wow.
I was in drag.
Yeah.
And you okay, so let's look at this. What do we got? We got Safe Spaces concert streaming.
Yeah, what SIGB is the Stonewall Gives Back Initiative. It's the official nonprofit of the Stonewall Inn. And this campaign that they're doing is to help reopen safe spaces in like 5 different places around the country as the country reopens, safe spaces for LGBT and queer individuals, so that because that's what the charity kind of does. Like it takes the Stonewall energy and the Stonewall legacy and tries to build up other places that are a little slower to progress.
Yeah, I mean, I saw so many things while I was watching that. Like, I think there was something in Alabama. I just mind blowing. It's so great. I mean, think about this little tiny bar 50 years ago, and how people stood up for themselves, and how now it's just all over the world. Like it's just started this movement, and it's just really great. By the way, I have to also plug, because it's just a fun thing, because now it's all over the world. The Brooklyn Brewery, which is based in New York and Brooklyn, created this Stonewall IPA. Mm-hmm. And you can find it now in all liquor stores across the country.
I didn't know
and
that.
it's yes,
Wow.
Yes, and it's Kurt was telling me last week.
I don't think I've tried it. I should have it.
Oh, you have to try it next time you
I'm
work.
not a big IPA fan. I'm more of like it's not bad.
They're tough.
Yeah,
on the boat. So
I also believe that a portion of the Leo, you're just the best.
Leo's like Superman.
Leo is beyond. Yes, I don't know what I do without Leo. So this is the Brooklyn Brewery Stonewall and IPA, and you can get it in liquor stores all over the country. And other countries. I think it's in Europe now and Australia.
Yes, I know it's in Australia.
A portion of the proceeds go to safe spaces. I mean, the Stonewall Gives Back initiative.
Yeah.
So, and it's a good sized portion of the proceeds. So that's something to consider, even if you're not in New York and you want to be supportive of it and you want to have a few beers, grab some Stonewall IPA. If you're celebrating Pride and you're not in the city and you want to be part of the city, grab some Stonewall IPA. Mandar Chick Magnet has joined us. That's our friend. He's in Jersey City. He is such a chick, straight chick magnet, but an ally to beat all allies. So anyway, let's see who else checked in. If any of our friends. Okay, so it's the crew that we've had on, and people are listening across the country on Armed Radio, which is wonderful. Now, you guys made videos. You did you get any sleep today at all?
I mean, I had to come back and take a nap for sure. I know that Chauncey did and thought he slept through the show. So
yeah,
Chauncey, I love that.
But it went well. We had to shoot. Are we allowed to say what we were shooting?
So, yeah.
Yeah, we were shooting with Titus Burgess, who happens to be a great friend of mine. And
wow.
we were performing a song, and you'll have to watch to see what the song is.
When do we get to see it?
I think that's on Actual Pride, right? Pride, Sunday, the 27th.
Okay, so that was something you filmed for the actual parade, which will be virtual this year.
Yeah.
And
okay,
I'm and Titus Burgess, who is very famous from 30 Rock, and Kimmy Schmidt, and multi-Emmy Award nominee, and my friend, who I've known for 10 years, by the way.
How cool is that?
I used to hang out with him on 47th Street when he had 2 mattresses on the floor. So it was a nice full circle moment.
This is the beauty of being an artist in New York. Mm-hmm. And just hanging out and just doing your thing, doing the next right thing, going to your jobs, being creative, because we all come here as artists and we meet and we work together, and then people go off in different directions, but they're still your friends from 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago. And some of them become very famous or very visible in the community, and others are behind the scenes, running the engine that makes sure everybody else is getting out there. But it's amazing. It's like Susie and I talk about this all the time, and the friends that we've known forever, that's the beauty of it. So this is all going to go live on June 27th. It's a Sunday. How can we catch that virtual parade?
I think it's is it on
it'll be on YouTube.
NYCPride.com probably.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if you Google like NYC Pride, I'm sure
it'll pop
like
up.
It'll be on YouTube or whatever. Yeah.
So that'll be really fun. I know they just did LA Pride, because I did a little clip for them in front of Stonewall. That was really fun. My friend Mel England said, would you want to record something? I was like, sure. But I didn't think much of it. And then it was like part of LA Pride. And all these amazing, Lily Tomlin was on it, and Judith Light. It was just like amazing. Amazing. Okay, so let me see. I don't want to miss anything. Now, Brandon, we must forward to you created a game show, right?
Not a game show, but
okay.
I got so I was we all had our projects in the pandemic, right? So Maria has like a sauce empire now, and I've always been a big fan of board games, tabletop games, card games. So I invented a game. Oh, you can see my ring light in the reflection. I invented a game called Who Sung It? Crisis at the Piano Bar, that is a little bit like Clue mixed with Cards Against Humanity. And you basically try to make your friends laugh the hardest with a prediction of who got, like, how someone was murdered. But it's all wacky references to Broadway show tunes and things that you'd sing in a piano bar.
Wow.
So for instance,
I know.
So for instance, if we were to say who killed Maria Gentili, first of all, they'd be on my shit list. But you'd have a blue card, a green card, and a yellow card, and you'd say it was Dainty June with a sad sort of clanging from the clock in the hall up a steep and very narrow stairway. You know what I mean?
I love it.
Or you'd have, it was Tracy Turnblad with A Tale as Old as Time in June, which is busting out all over.
I love it.
That's true. It's June. I mean, one more. All right. It was Christine Daae with The Knitting, the Book, and the Broom, in the room where it happens.
Okay, so for people that
me laugh, and I wrote it. You know what I mean? Like,
I love it. So for us, because we know our show tunes and we love Broadway and all that. So for people that don't, these are all like kind of inside jokes,
right?
But it's.
You get this little booklet, Maria. You get a booklet that not only has all the so it can be very educational, which I know you'd enjoy. So it has all the rules, but then on the last few pages, you look up. There's a little number in the corner of every card, and if you find the number in the corner, you can look up, and it'll tell you what show the referenced joke is from, and what year it premiered on Broadway, or the film that it's referencing came out. So you can go Google it and find out why that's funny, or if you're like have children, it's fairly clean. You could play it with like young teenagers, and
now you know what I love about this too, because I also teach at the Male Performing Arts School in Morristown at MPEC, the Male Performing Arts Center. My kids, my like teenagers would not only love this, but they would get all of the references because they're like show kids, you know? So this is such a great board game. How do they find it? How can we get our people out there to get this, to purchase this game?
You can order it on the internet, just like you can everything else. It is at pianobarcardgame.com. So
pianobarcardgame.com. All right.
Either on your phone or on whatever device you want, and you can just go ahead and order it. And we've got stock finally. I had a bunch of pre-orders. Piano Bar Card Game.
Okay. Leo, Piano Bar Card. He'll fix that in 2 seconds.
No worries. I should have said it beforehand. Piano Bar Card.
That's all right.
You can also go to whosungit.com, but you have to put the hyphen in.
Okay.
So you can go to either or, and you can order one. And
how long did that take to create? That sounds so involved.
It was very involved, and I was trying to teach myself a lesson about owning a small business, and lesson learned.
Right.
You know what I mean? We were very lucky to have a lot of pre-orders.
No, the other way, Leo. Piano Bar Card Game. Poor Leo. We're throwing so much info at him. That's all right.
Leo's
pianobarcardgame.com. I can put it in the chat. And you can hear.
And okay, let's take a second to do the food section of our show, and we're all going to do it together. And I'm going to show you what I cooked tonight, because I always say if I'm going to have creative people on, I have to remain creative every week. I did not make any red sauce tonight because that would have been cheating. It would have been cheating. You boys are enjoying yours. You're enjoying your mighty meatballs. Chauncey has a spicy sausage.
800 calories of meatballs right now.
Listen, I was at Brandy's the other night because I work there on Fridays, which I want to tell people about. I am now officially at Brandy's every Friday night, and I love Brandy's Piano Bar, so please come and see me. But I was there with Liz Lark Brown, and at the end of the night, everybody was buying their sauce, and Liz was starving, and she literally ate cold meatballs with a straw.
With a straw.
She stabbed that meatball with a straw, and she ate it
like a lollipop.
That's dedication.
Exactly.
Oh my God. What a great idea. Meatball lollipops.
Oh my, Chauncey.
That's Italian. No, that's Italian.
Chauncey, that is Italian.
And like you could dip them in regatta, or you dip them in
oh my God. That's a great idea, Chauncey.
Well, Brandon just came up with it.
That is a great idea.
I'm definitely eating. I just pulled these out of the fridge and started going in. They don't need.
Honey, enjoy. Okay, I'm going to do the food section of our show. Leo, you have to join us. And on the count of three, we're all going to.
My fingers hurt. I'm retyping. Hold on.
Are you okay? Look at your gay flag. I mean, your pride flag behind you. Those fingers are on fire from typing. You're doing an amazing job, by the way, Leo. And guys, I don't know if you saw this. Tonight is our 200th show, which Chauncey did remind me of a few times, which I loved because I forgot. And Leo, of course, knows everything.
Yeah, I was wait a minute. That's your 200th episode.
Leo sent me this beautiful, look how cute this is, you guys, for the 200th episode. Is this the cutest thing? He sent it to me. I got the floors delivery today. I am not one to get flowers often, so thank you so much. All right.
I love the smiley face. I love the emoticon.
Yeah, what a cute face.
It's so happy. It's so happy. So here's what I have. Face. Okay, so I made butternuts because I didn't want to make meat or fish. I'm trying to get back on my diet at some point. But this isn't very low fat. But this is what I made: butternut squash ravioli with pesto, a creamy pesto. So I, of course, that's not low fat at all. I put like heavy cream, cheese, and butter, and make like a pesto Alfredo. So that's what I made for that.
What was your base in that pesto? What kind of, do you use pine nuts?
Well, I didn't make it myself. Lynn Portis made it a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm sure it's
pesto?
basil, oregano, parsley, all ground up with pinoli and a little olive oil and some garlic. It's off the hook. So what did I make for salad? I went with a pride salad. I tried to capture all the colors of our little rainbow. So I have romaine lettuce. I have a purple cabbage. I have red peppers, yellow peppers. And what am I missing? The blue? That's why I used the blue bowl. So I captured all, and I'm just going to go with a basic red wine vinegar, and I'm doing a Sicilian lemon olive oil. So there is that. So good. Maybe I'll throw a little oregano in there to make it even more Italian.
Wow.
How about that? Okay, so that is my pride salad. How did I do, Leo? Because I was making it as we were talking.
That was good. Yeah, we were talking.
Yeah.
I like the blue bowl better than the blue cheese. I think the blue cheese would have been a little strong.
I was gonna do blue cheese, but I just was like, nah. Okay, now what did I get for dessert? I got for New York a Junior's little fella. It's called the little fella cheesecake. So I thought that was the little euphemism there. Little fella. Now it's plain, but not for long. Because guess what I'm going to put on this? My friend Ken Patton. He lives in California, and he, as just like everybody else, was getting creative in COVID. Chauncey has his radio show. Brandon created the game show. My friend Ken
Maria.
Patton. Oh, what, honey?
I have Maria.
Right, there you go. And I have I created my pasta sauce business. Ken created a jams, Ken's Perfect Jams, it's called. And you have to go to their website. It's incredible. He's got all kinds of jams and butters and preserves. And this is Pride Jam. So I don't know if you can see that. It's so amazing. So what it is sangria fruits with Beaujolais wine. So it's like, Leah, what did we say? It was raspberries, cherries, pineapple, peaches, blackberries, blueberries, Gamay Beaujolais wine, peach juice, mixed berry juice, cane sugar, lime juice. Off the hook.
I have 6 of his. They're amazing.
They're amazing. And he even created a Maria jam, which he asked me like my favorite flavors, and it's like pear, apple, brown sugar, and ginger. So you can buy that as well.
I want
that.
But
this is the Pride Jam, and I'm going to put it on top of my cheesecake. That's what I'm having. How delicious is that? I know, Leo.
To tell you,
what?
I sat with Maria's jam and a row of freaking club crackers the other night, and all I did was sit with your jam. Exactly. And I just dipped.
See, you know what I used to do when I was a kid?
Dipping.
That's it. You dip it. I used to put cream cheese on a cracker and then jam.
Oh,
that's delicious. Did you do that, Chauncey? That's kind of an Italian thing.
Yeah, cream cheese and jam on an English muffin too.
Oh yeah,
that's delicious. Absolutely.
Did you used to make English muffin pizzas when you were a kid?
Not so much.
Yeah, we used to get the leftover sauce and make a little.
I do that now. So
you make little pizzas?
Oh, I have a toaster oven, and I totally make little pizzas in my toaster oven.
That's so. We used to take like a flatbread. I love that, and we would make pizza out of it.
I would take like a piece of wheat toast. I was just making pizza out of it.
That's one way that you really can get somebody of Italian descent upset. Like, I made the greatest pizza, and then you go into the details, and they're like, "What?"
No, but you know what it is? We don't even think of doing that. It's not even but like we have an Italian bread that we dip in everything. That's like Italians will wake up in the middle of the night, get a loaf of bread. They're still sleepwalking, mind you, and you put this little olive oil, garlic, and like some oregano, salt, and pepper, and you literally got one eye closed, and you dip in the bread. I mean, that's what we do. We put bread. Everything is bread. So, all right.
Good job, Mandar.
What did Mandar put? Oh, Mandar Chick Magnet writes down he is the keeper of all my recipes. So he writes down whatever I say with the food section of our show. Mandar, you have it all. And then look, he writes it all down. Unbelievable. Incredible. Thank you, Mandar. Mandar Chick Magnet. Okay. What did we not cover? Brandon, let's talk about your award. You got a really great award this year. Let's talk about that. It's a big deal.
I was very lucky to find out I guess it was actually, I came on your show the day after, the very first time I came on your show. I came on the show the day after that my colleague and co-writer Ella Rose Cherry and I were the recipients of the 2021 Richard Rogers Award.
Wow.
And I came on your show the day after we could talk about it because they tell you that you win and then they tell you not to tell anybody and you sit there and you're like, why the fuck can I tell anybody? And I'm going to tell everybody. But then they finally make a public date where they do the press release and you can tell people. But we wrote a show. We're musical theater writers, but we like to write about queer political things. There's our new Play Exchange. We write about politics. We write about queer history. And we wanted to write something about that asked the question, why do queer female characters always got to die? And so,
I love that.
It's not a musical version of Thelma and Louise, but it is just kind of a weird, off the wall rock and roll musical that really just talks about how queers and queer women have been portrayed in cinema over the past 50 years of American cinema. And so it's called Thelma Louise Dyke Remix, TLDR. And it won the Richard Rogers Award. And I don't want to say too much publicly, but the Richard Rogers Award is known to be a little conservative. And I thought it was really cool that they picked us this year.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah. And
no kidding.
I think it's really fun. And we're very proud. We're very, very delighted because it does come with a grant. We get a stipend, which I already got that check, and then we get a much bigger grant that we can walk into. Really, we can partner with any theater that's in the New York City scene and say, we have this money that will you help us, develop this show. So it gives the play a little extra boost, a little extra cash to get some real development done, and hopefully a full class production someday. Maybe
that's amazing. That's amazing. That's great. So you guys you're always working on something. Chauncey, when's your birthday?
March 22nd.
Okay. So you're in Aries. We talked about this last night. I should remember that. So you're in Aries, which Aries men are very good with technical things. Did you know that? They're like the first to, they're really, if you want something technical done, an Aries guys. Yeah.
I've never heard that.
I've never heard that either.
And how about you, Brandon? What's your sign?
I'm August 14th. I'm a mid-sign Leo.
Okay, my mother was a Leo. I get along with Leos very well. And
you are surrounded by fire right now, Gemini.
I am a Gemini, so I'm the as is Susie. We're the communicators.
Yeah, and
I'm a Sagittarius.
We're crazy. And then a Sagittarius is Leo, which is one of the most fun signs of all. So this is a nice group here. This is a very nice group. We all get along beautifully. So, okay, it's Pride Month. This has been a really hard year for all of us in many, many, many ways. We all had some kind of challenges, whether it was physical, some of us had multiples, physical, financial. We had to change careers or reinvent ourselves. And Chauncey, you started that. You've been doing the radio thing, right? This last year. Okay, and that came out of COVID, right?
Yeah, no, I was doing that long before COVID, but I did a lot of I used to do a variety show monthly at Stonewall, and I took that online onto first it was on Instagram Live, which was terrible. Then it was on Zoom, and then I moved over to StreamYard, and I love StreamYard.
Yeah, StreamYard's great. Yeah. So but now you're back indoors and doing things live.
I think we're going to be starting up the normal show situation there soon. But right now we just drag Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then piano bar Monday through Thursday. So
so Stonewall upstairs is downstairs as well. Stonewall is always hopping, but now the upstairs is just taking on a whole new life. So if you, especially this month, you want to come in, a lot of people are visiting New York again. because we're open again, and all you need is your vaccination card to get in anywhere. And
people can talk to one another again and touch each other.
Yeah, we don't have to wear masks anymore, which is so great.
I don't know if
really. Yeah, we don't have to. I think they're still doing some contact tracing, but for the most part, because 70% of New Yorkers are vaccinated. 70%. It might even be higher than that. And they're saying that that's why the numbers are so low. So if you want to visit New York, you can start coming back. We love it. We would love it. And the Stonewall Inn is a famous place. It's 53 Christopher. And you'll catch Chauncey almost every single night of the week there. I mean, Chauncey, you work every day.
Except for
he's the place. He's the ghost.
He is the ghost.
Everything's a ghost.
The ghost of Stonewall.
every day, but what, Chauncey?
I'm off on Thursdays.
Okay, so Thursday's not your day to go. Chauncey's not.
Even though I worked last Thursday, but
I know. I was going to say,
come on a Monday. I'll tell you what you need to do.
Yeah, come on a Monday. That's
upstairs. Come at like 8:00.
You got the
well. I know, but I'm sad you're not going to be there, Brandon, for 2 weeks, right?
No, for 3 weeks.
3 weeks, and then I'm going away the first weekend in July. But it's always fun. Susie's there, I'm there, Brandon's there, Chauncey's there. You're going to catch most of us. 3 out of 4 of us you're going to catch every Monday. We have so much fun. Doors open at 8 upstairs and 8 to 2, and it's a blast. And it's open mic, so if you're someone that enjoys singing, all you have to do is tip your piano player. You can either Venmo him or give him some cold hard cash, and you can get up and sing along with him. Now we're coming to the end of our show, which is amazing because it flies by. So I always ask my guests to leave like our audience with a little something. So Brandon, what, like a little, just some words of encouragement. We've been through this. What would you, if people are listening, creative people are listening, anybody you want to address, what would you say to people to just staying in the game?
Well, I think that just to, plug this thing that I worked on for 2 years.
Yes, please.
It would have been very easy to give up on this. I wrote these songs. Some of them are much older in my songwriting life. Some of them, the bulk of them are written at the end of the tour I was on with Trixie Mattel in 2018. And I had to put that project aside. And then I was interviewed about it recently, and I had to think about why did I keep working on this, and how does it apply to me now? And it's like, when I really think about what this album is about, it's about going through something hard and realizing a lot of the time that you're faking it, but you still got through it, because it doesn't really matter how you got there, you just got there. And
like when they say fake it till you make it, it doesn't matter.
That's why it's called Bull It with an IT, because it really means bullshit. And I know. But
what? Now the cat's out of the bag.
But it's like, I think that it's like, it takes courage, and it just takes getting up and doing something every day. And so it's like, I think that those of us who had all these projects and had these things to do and thought about life in a different way because we were all forced to, I think we'll be the better for it. So I think, I'm glad things are getting back to normal, so some kind of normal. But in a way, I think we'll have learned something important.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So do you have a website as well?
I do. BrandonJamesGuinn.com.
Okay.
Very simple. Yeah.
So for our radio listeners, it's Brandon, Brandon, James, James, and his last name Gwynn is GWINN.com. So go and check Brandon James Gwynn out. You can see all his stuff there. And there's so much stuff to see, and I can't wait for you to get back. I know you're leaving soon, but I can't wait for you to get back. And I love working with you guys on Mondays. I'm just in love with you both of you. We laugh.
We so like witches missing a cauldron last night.
Yes. And Susie, we all love Susie. That's what another thing we have in common. We love Susie Camp, and she makes us laugh so hard. And last night was no exception.
No.
Well, my God.
That journey moment was.
We can't really share it because it sounds like we're being cruel, but we're not. But you had to be there. It's like you had to be there moment.
It's totally you had to be there. But I looked at Maria at one point. I thought you were going to wet your pants, and I was just.
I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't talk. I was laughing so hard.
I've never worked with it's the four of us, and we're just so. We don't have to even say anything. We just get it, It's really, it's really wonderful to just like
a group of people. You should
know that people are going to get your joke and just know.
That's what. Well, Chauncey and I now we're at the point where we don't even talk. We just look at each other. We know what the other one is thinking. We have that side like it's very Italian. What we do, Chauncey, is very Italian.
It is very Italian.
It's like an old married couple where we look at each other and be like, "I'm not going to say it. You say it." Now, Chauncey, you did so much work this year. You worked on so many projects, and you are constantly working on projects. What would you leave people with for staying in the game and not, because I mean, you literally, I don't know how you stay awake even, but you're on to the next project.
I think one of the things that I've always struggled with is that I do so many different things, and I'm always like, oh, are they not going to know, or this and that, blah, blah, blah. And like, there's nothing wrong with doing, I guess to leave people with, there's nothing wrong with doing all of those things, because some people will know you. Most people know me as a DJ because I've been doing it the most and the longest, but I'm also a poet. I have some, books of poetry out. I'm a recording artist now.
See, I didn't know about the poetry books. I mean, it's crazy.
There's too much. So like, I like.
And I love your songs, Chauncey. I love your songs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited for the full album to come out because there's some really good stuff on there, and I'm singing in a way that I didn't know I could. So that's also exciting. But there's nothing wrong with just doing 10 different things, because one person's going to know you as the writer, one person's going to know you as this, and just like my friendships, you have a different relationship with your different audience. So there's nothing wrong with like just doing everything you want to do. Just do it.
Okay.
Absolutely, I love that, because lots of times. What, honey? Say we we're going to say, Brandon.
I read the article that Chauncey is having published. Now, what's it in again?
It's on westviewnews.org.
Really, really wonderful. I think you should turn it into a book. It just paints a brilliant picture of an era and a space. So if you like that sort of thing, or honestly, if you can read English, you should go read it. It's very, very good.
It's the 40th anniversary this year of the first time AIDS was mentioned in a newspaper. So for the Pride issue for this magazine that comes out, it's like a West Village based thing. I wrote an article last year about Pride in the time of Corona. So my friend Camby's, he asked me to do another. There it is.
Oh,
right
West News. Thank you, Leo.
The title is "Your Perspective is Your Religion," and I kind of, I'm like patting myself on the back when I came up with that line, because I was like, wow, because I really think everyone's religion is how they perceive things. It's how So this is my little mantra or whatever. I don't know what the word is. Of growing up in Jersey, getting on the PATH train, feeling like I was exploring things that I shouldn't have, taboo, all this like excitement. It was only $1 back then to get on the PATH train. So that $1 took us to this paradise that was dirty. It's like filthy and dangerous and exciting. But we had the whole cloud of AIDS hovering over us. Growing up around my age, you never knew what sex was like without thinking of, oh my God, I could die from this. Oh my God, I could die from this.
Right.
That certainly shaped my generation, and I'm sure Brandon's generation, and I'm a little older than Brandon. But it's just. But I'm always optimistic. That's my secret to success.
You know what? I agree, and we're running out of time, but I agree with Brandon. This sounds like a book to me. I'm with you, Brandon, on that.
I think it's just, and the way he writes about it, the images, it's just like, I love queer history. It's what I write about when I write musicals. So I was enthralled. It was just very well written and really, really cool.
Well, listen, there's no coincidence that you guys came on the same night. I mean, we work together. You both have educated me, and I've been around a long time, but I'm just learning things all the time. So I can't thank you enough. And happy Pride. How we kicked off Pride Month together. So let's keep enjoying it. Everybody be safe, be happy, be proud. And you know what? Because a lot of our listeners, most of our listeners probably are straight, but you have been lovely allies, and we appreciate you all year long. And let's just all love each other. Like, let's stop dividing up and fighting, and let's just come together, because the love is in the middle. We have more in common than we ever would have not in common. And I love and appreciate everybody out there. I want to thank Leo Rodriguez. He is our accidental stage manager. And we say that because he just actually kept doing things, and eventually he I had to start paying him. He was just amazing. So, and Jim Bell, he's our producer and engineer at Armed Radio. Thank you, Jimmy. And we want to just tell you to come back every Tuesday from 9 to 10. We love you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.